Hey, how's it going people? As we approach December and the horrible winter, what better time than now to look forward to 2025 and the bag of treats it has to offer. The games that have been currently announced for 2025 are already super hot and highly anticipated, so I'm sure we're in for another stellar year. Here are some of my most anticipated and what you should add to your watch list if not there already. February is the most stacked month for sure, and kicking off this list is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 on February 11th. A direct sequel to the first game, set in 1403, you take control of character Henry again and pick up his story. Developer Warhorse Studios has promised that it will be welcoming to both old and new players. This game is a traditional RPG and there will be consequences for your actions. It is said to be twice the size of the first game, so given the games I'm about to discuss that release in the same window, maybe keep this one for a rainy day, but definitely keep an eye on it nonetheless. Coming to Xbox, PlayStation and PC. Assassin's Creed Shadows seems to favour those who are single as it drops on February 14th. Perhaps ask your significant other if they would prefer to ditch the romantic meal and assassinate some corrupt people across Japan instead. This game was supposed to be released by now, but it has been delayed into next year. It follows two protagonists, the stealthy shinobi Naoe and the brutish samurai Yusuke. Feudal Japan is the setting fans have been demanding for ages, so let's see if the game delivers. From initial showing, it looks like it very much could live up to expectations. The game looks gorgeous, and they are also doing some really cool things with the weather tech, so add this one to your watch list. Coming to Xbox, PlayStation and PC. Lost Records Bloom and Rage first part releases February 18th. If you are accustomed to developers don't nod, you know what to expect here, but if you're not expecting narrative masterclass. From the creators of Life is Strange, this seems to be going back to their roots and explores a story between a group of friends who seem to have some sinister mystery haunting them. I certainly want to find out more, so I'm looking forward to this one. The second part releases on March 18th, exactly 1 month later, coming to Xbox, PlayStation and PC. Also dropping on February 18th is Avowed, Obsidian Entertainment's fantasy RPG set in the Pillars of Eternity universe. This game looks better and better the more they show, and I can't wait to dive in. You know, with Obsidian the story is going to be top class and the art style is gorgeous. I was a bit cautious about the combat, but once I saw the dual wielding ones I was sold. This is also a day one Game Pass title for those who have this service, coming to Xbox and PC. Rounding out February is Monster Hunter Wilds on the 28th. This seems to have everything the fans desire. After the massive success of World and more recently Rise, Capcom is looking to be in a good position for this to be another top seller. The monsters are looking good and the previews are glowing. I wouldn't be surprised if this one is in the Game of the Year talks next year. Coming to Xbox, PlayStation and PC. The final game on this list that actually has a firm release date is Atomfall, hitting March 27th. A game that is interestingly coming from Sniper Elite Dev's Rebellion. It looks sort of like a cross between Fallout and Bioshock, set in a dystopian British countryside town. It is listed as an action survival game and it has definitely piqued my interest, so we'll have to see how it looks when it arrives in March. Coming to Xbox, PlayStation, PC and day one on Game Pass. Now let's move on to the games that don't have set release dates but are still announced as coming out in the year of 2025. Once again, this is not all games but just the ones I'm keeping an eye out for. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This game, from French developers Samfall Interactive, blew people away when it showed up in the Xbox Summer Showcase earlier this year. It is a turn-based RPG that boasts real-time mechanics. Just look at the gameplay here, it looks absolutely incredible. I will certainly be paying close attention to any whiff of a solid release date on this one, coming to Xbox, PlayStation and PC. Death Stranding 2 is Kojima's next project and one of two major PlayStation exclusives next year. Expect a wacky story, gorgeous graphics, and presumably a lot of walking as you take control of Sam Porter Bridges again. Kojima has a great track record and I'm sure this one is going to hit that quality mark he pretty much always hits. Let's be honest, we were all sold as soon as we saw Troy Baker's character fighting a robot with an electric guitar that shoots electric bolts. Coming to PlayStation only. Doom: The Dark Ages. Medieval tech has never looked so good. It's time to rip and tear again and boy, I can't wait. The pacing of Doom has always been great, but the weapons they showed in this trailer were just... There's a weapon that grinds a skull and spits out pieces of bone. There is a flail, there is a chainsaw and a shield, and it's certainly going to be gory. Plus, who can resist Doom Guy when he's wearing a sick cape? I'm sure there are going to be hundreds of gruesome ways to slay the demons when this hits next year on all platforms, and day one on Game Pass. Fable returns after a long break and it's shaping up to be really good. Fable 2 is a game I hold very fondly to my heart, and I hope that under the new leadership of Playground Games, known best for the Forza Horizon series, this franchise can return to its former glory. We return to the British-inspired town Albion, and the comedy seems to be perfectly on point for Fable and its crudeness, at least from what has been shown so far. Expect a fantasy RPG adventure with its fair share of farts, coming to Xbox and PC, and day one on Game Pass. Sucker Punch wowed us with the reveal of Ghost of Yotei in the PlayStation State of Play in September, the much anticipated sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, however, not a direct sequel like some expected. This game centers around a new protagonist, Atsu, and her adventures almost 300 years after the events of the first game. It is unclear at the moment whether the Ghost series is going to be a compilation of stories, or if this is just a brief journey away from Jin, and then he will be returned to later. Either way, put this game on your list as it drops sometime next year, exclusive to PlayStation. GTA 6 is probably the most anticipated game to be released next year. 12 years after the release of highly acclaimed GTA 5, we see a return to Vice City. The game's protagonist is Lucia, and it seems she may have a male counterpart as well, although that has not been confirmed. It could be a Bonnie and Clyde situation, or they may just be separate characters that join together on their travels. The trailer was seeping with all that rich rockstar humour, and this game seems to be towing that line of parody that everyone loves to see, poking a finger at the bear of our current societal norms. This game is going to take over the whole gaming space when it drops seemingly in fall of next year on Xbox and PlayStation consoles only. Mixtape from developers The Artful Escape is oozing with Life is Strange vibes. Draped in an 80s backdrop, this narrative-driven game looks like everything fans of these adventures will love. An emotional teen drama that will make you really consider your choices, coupled with an incredible soundtrack, is what you should expect. Nothing is ever simple though, and the trailer hints at some paranormal happenings too. Coming to PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and day one on Game Pass. South of Midnight is a title that surprised me when it dropped. It is a very different approach for developer Compulsion Games after their previous outing with We Happy Few. This game boasts a stop-motion art style, and personally I think it looks beautiful. Set in the Deep South, players control Hazel and her mystical weaving powers. The setting explores all the mythos and legends of the Deep South and all the mystery that comes from that. It is a third-person action adventure that you should not miss, coming to Xbox and PC, and Game Pass day one. The first Beserker Khazan is another RPG with Souls-like attributes. The trailers show you as Khazan taking on several behemoth bosses, and the combat looks very satisfying. There's not too much of this game that has been revealed yet, but it certainly has my interest. The art style mixed with good combat may be more than enough to keep me engaged. Not to mention industry favourite Ben Starr as voicing Khazan, his second game on this list alone, and seems to be becoming the new Troy Baker in front of our very eyes. Coming to Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. While not a game, my final nod is going towards the Switch 2. Very much expected to be released in the first half of next year, we are all waiting with bated breath for Nintendo to reveal this system. And as always with a new system, expect a whole slate of release games. If I were a guessing man, I'd expect a new 3D Mario as well as an Animal Crossing. We already know about Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon ZA, which are releasing on the original Switch, but I imagine they would be upgraded for the Switch 2 as well. Well, that's my complete watch list. Hopefully I managed to add some games to your radar. If you like the content, please like and subscribe, and comment below with any games that you are looking forward to. For everything else, Casual Gamer, keep it here. Peace and love.